Okay. Please, first of all, I want to actually apologize. I know the camera quality will be very bad, and that's because I'm using a lav mic, which is a lapel mic. My iPhone, the 11 Pro and the normal 11 doesn't have any space for lav mic. So I'm actually trying to see if I can actually get a dedicated camera because this mic is very clear, or if I can actually get a better live mic on an iPhone. So for now, please just manage the camera quality. The most important thing is to actually understand what I'm teaching you, because once you eventually do, you should be making more profits. So that being said, on the last video, which is the part one, I actually stopped at 444, which is 4 into 4 places. Virtual football has 16 teams, especially the ones on the online platform from BetRadar. The first one is called a super strong team. The second one is called a normal strong team. This other one is called weak, and this other one is called super weak. So I'm actually going to explain something to you why there is no sure match in virtual football. Now, we also talked about the threshold. So let me just finish up this one. I told you that no matter how good you discover a strategy, it could fail. You understand? And it's not actually your fault. And if you get to notice, even after failing you, it will keep on playing for some time. Now, most times people will be like, oh, why someone sure match? Che, if Sana for play that match, let me tell you, if say you play that match because of you in particular, that match for fail. So that's what we call threshold. Let me use an instance like an ATM. If you have a normal savings account, your threshold every day is 150,000. So once you withdraw up to 150,000, you've meet your threshold. You can't withdraw on the ATM again for the day. Now, on virtual football, we have what we call wager threshold. Wager threshold is the amount of money people has placed on a particular team. So let's say a team between Paris and London, this particular season, the threshold could be a difference of 50. That means once you have two teams playing and they have a difference of 50 million, the difference of 50 million could be, okay, let's say this match now is 70, or let's say this match is 80 million. So total amount placed for Paris and London over 2.5 is 80 million. And let's say now the threshold for this particular season is 50 million. Now 80 minus 18 million is about 62 million. So now the difference is 62 million. Now if the threshold for this particular season is to be getting if the threshold is difference in 50 million, what they will simply do is to favor under 2.5. It's not actually clear, so let me come back again. Please, if you're not actually understanding, just be very patient. I'm a bit very good at teaching, so I will make it as easy as possible. So now let me talk one by one so you'll be able to understand. Threshold, wager threshold simply means a point that they must not pass. But once a bet passes it, it goes the opposite. For instance, you can withdraw with your ATM card, but once you have withdrawn up to 150,000, you can't withdraw again. Now, a strong team will keep on winning. A strong team will keep on scoring goal. But if that strong team have reached a wager, that means if a particular amount of money has been placed on that team, now just like you can't withdraw with your ATM again, that team will not deliver again. So now let's say the wager for this season is 40 million. Okay, that 40 million could be a difference of 40 million. They don't just do it when you reach 40 million. No, they do it different. Different simply means, let's say Paris and London to win. Now, 100 million has been bet on Paris to win, and 70 million has been bet on London to win. So what is the difference? The difference is you now check 100 million minus 70 million, which is 100 million total has been bet on Paris, minus 70 million bet on London. The difference is 30 million. If the threshold is 50 million, it simply means it's not up to 50. So since this one is super strong, it will just beat London. Now, if they also play with, let's say Amsterdam, and now Paris is 70 million, and Amsterdam is 40 million. Now, Amsterdam is strong, Paris is super strong. Now, what will happen? Now, you will not check if this is 70 or let's say 80, and this is let's say 40. 80 minus 40 is 40. That is 80 million minus 40 million is 40 balance. Is the 40 up to the threshold of 50? No. Paris will beat London, and London will go over 2.5 majority of the times. So now this threshold is actually done by options. Now every season, let me just turn this. I'm actually supposed to get a new one, but let's just turn it back so I can actually explain something better to you. Every season, new threshold are being done. So let's say at the end of this tutorial, you should be able to understand how it works, and you should be able to understand why there is no sure match, but there is a sure strategy. A sure strategy that, okay, we'll get there later on. So let's talk about the wager first. So now every season, let's say this is season 0, 1, 2, 3. Season 0, 1, 2, 3, the moment Victory Football starts, it generates a threshold, a wager threshold. It does it like this. It says something like for over 2.5, the wager threshold, which means the difference should be 60 million. For straight win, which is 1, the threshold should be 70 million. For draw or festo, no, draw has to do with winning. So let's say this is 1x2. This is over. Let me explain. It might be very long, but just try and understand. If you can't actually understand it, just get back to me on WhatsApp. I will explain. The thing is, when you understand how Victory Football works, you will stop losing. Because people keep on disturbing me every day. I'm making losses. You're making losses because you don't even understand what you're doing. All you know is I'm playing. This one is short. Let me play. You don't actually understand how it works. And even if I teach you this one, they can't fix it because this is just the simple principles of Victory Football. But you understanding it keeps you in a better position to win. You understand? So now let's start with how it's being generated on Victory Football. Now let's say this is season 1, 2, 3. So let's say this is season 1, 2, 3. It has generated a threshold of 60 million for over 2.5. So this simply means now whenever a match is being played over 2.5, once a particular team has up to 60 million ahead, that is 60 million naira total bet ahead of a particular team, it has reached the threshold to go opposite. So this simply means, in this particular season 1, 2, 3, the threshold is 60 million. So if two teams are playing and one of them has 60 million more naira stake on a particular team, okay, let's say this team is Lisbon and 18th, okay, Lisbon and 18th, and the threshold limit is 60 million. So now if one of these teams has over 60 million, so let's say this one has 100 million and this one has 300 million. Now the difference is 300 million now is bigger than 100. In fact, 300 million minus 100 million gives you 200 million. So that means this particular 18th, 200 million people have staked on it. And I remember the threshold is 60. So since it has already passed 60, if they favor 18th, this company are going to lose. You understand? Because so many people has bet on it. So what the software will do is the software will leave to favor 18th and favor Lisbon. So this is simply why I don't have any sure match. Why do I say that? Because of you. Or that match you're saying, it's too short, this match was too short. If you had played that match, you would have probably made it loss. So let's say the threshold now is 60 million. The threshold is 60 million. And now we now have Lisbon now has 100 million. Okay? Why 18th has, let's just give an instance, 18s has 159 million, okay, 159,999,000. Now, what is the difference between 100 million and 159,999,000? Now, if you say 100 million now minus 159,099,000, so 159M, then 999,000 naira. Now, this is what will happen. The difference is 59,999,000. Is this up to 60 million? It's not up to 60 million. The threshold is 60 million. So if this is not up to 60 million, if Lisbon is at super strong, Lisbon will beat 18s. If Lisbon is at super strong, while 18s is at weak, they will beat 18s. If they are strong, while 18s is at super weak, they will beat 18s. What I'm actually trying to say is, if Lisbon is strong in that particular season, because every season it changes, I will still teach you how to discover how it changes. Now, if Lisbon is actually strong in this season, they will beat 18s. If they're scoring so much goal in this season, they will score over 2. But if extra 1,000, because the difference here now, 100 million, which is the total amount bet on Lisbon, and for 18s is 159,999,000. So now it is not up to 60 million. So because it's not up to 60 million, they will just play their normal game. But you that is saying, this match is too short, I would have played it 10,000. If you had played this match 10,000 before the game started, it would have been 160 million. Okay, 160 million at 10,000 here. 160 million, 9,000 naira. Because if you actually add 10,000 to 59,999,000, it should give you 160 million, 9,000. That means that's your 10,000 you played. No, 10,000 is even too much. Just 1,000 naira. Let's say we had added 1,000 to, let's say we had added 1,000. And this match now, this one has 100 million. This one has 159,999,000. That extra 1,000 you add there will give it 60 million. 60 million is the threshold. Instead of the company to favor 18s, they will now do opposites and favor Lisbon. So once the difference is up